Hello everyone. How are you all, my dear students? I hope you all are fine and doing well. So, my dear students, as you all know, we are doing grammar. So, in a previous video, we have completed lesson number 17. So, today we are going to start lesson number 18, punctuation. So, let's begin our today's session with a beautiful quote that is, don't wait for the perfect moment, take the moment and make it perfect. Don't wait for the perfect moment, take the moment and make it perfect. So, lesson number 18, punctuation. Read this sentence. This you have to write with me in your rough book. Okay? As I told you that whenever you are sitting for watching a video, sit with your rough book and pencil. So I hope you all are sitting with your rough book. So let's start to write. Read, read these sentences. Read these sentences. So here you can make pointer of your choice or you can do numbering. Okay. Number 1, I went went to the market and bought apples oranges grapes and mangoes. I went to the market and bought apples, oranges, grapes, and mangoes. Number 2, she got biscuits, bread, toffee, and cake. She got biscuits, bread, toffee, and cake. Number 3, we used to live in in Kerala. Kerala. We used to live in Kerala. Next, where is the pie? Pie. Where is the pie? Then next, what a beautiful flower. What a beautiful flower. Next, have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? So my dear students, did you observe one thing which I didn't say it? Yes, that is all these symbols which are written in a red color, all the symbols you can see here. So what are they? These are commas, then full stop, then question mark, and then exclamation mark. So all these symbols are called punctuation marks. What it is called? Punctuation, right? So where comma is there you have to take a pause for a second. For comma, you have to take a pause. At full stop, that is the end of the sentence. Question mark, to write question. Exclamation mark, for the surprise or shocking news. Okay? So, I am reading it again so that if you have missed anything to write, you can write it. Okay? Let's see. I went to the market and bought apples, oranges, grapes and mangoes. Full stop. Next, she got biscuits, bread, toffee and cake. Full stop. Then next, we used to live in Kerala. We used to live in Kerala. Then where is is the pie? Question mark. Then what a beautiful flower. What a beautiful flower! Exclamation mark. Then, have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? Question mark. So, I hope you all understand what is punctuation mark. So, let's see. All these sentences begin with a capital letter. These also you all have to write, okay? All these sentences begin with a capital letter. Statements and commands end with a full stop. Statements and commands end with a full stop. Questions end with a question mark. Questions end with a question mark. Sentences that show wonder end with an exclamation mark. Sentences that show wonder end with an exclamation mark. Proper nouns begin with a capital letter. Proper nouns begin with a capital letter. I is always capitalized. I is always capitalized. We use a comma between items in a series or a list. We use a comma between items in a series or a list. For example, I saw an otter, a frog, a nightingale, and an owl having tea on my terrace. So here you can see comma, right? I saw an otter, a frog, a nightingale, and an owl having tea on my terrace. Then next, we use a comma after words like yes or no or please. We use a comma after words like yes or no or please. For example, please tell me a story. Please tell me a story. Then next, we also use a comma. We also use a comma to set off a name from the rest of the sentence. We also use a comma to set off a name from the rest of the sentence. For example, Neeti, do you have an eraser? Neeti, do you have an eraser? So I hope you all understand these points. So now you all have to write these points with me. Okay? Give numbers to the points. Point number 1, because all these points are very important to understand about punctuation. Point number 1, Start to write. All these sentences begin with a capital letter. All these sentences begin with a capital letter. So, my dear students, words which are written in red color, that you have to make underline. Okay. Point number 2. Statements and commands and with a full stop. Statements and commands and with a full stop. Continue this point. Questions and with a question mark. Full stop and continue this point. Sentences that show wonder and with an exclamation mark. Sentences that show wonder and with an exclamation mark. Point number 3. Proper nouns begin with a capital letter. letter, full stop. I is always capitalized, full stop. Then point number 4, we use a comma between items in a series or a list, full stop. Continue the same point. For example, I saw an otter, comma, a frog, comma, a nightingale, and an owl having tea on my terrace, full stop. Then point number 5, we use a comma after words like yes, or no, or or please, please, full stop. For example, please, please tell me a story. Please tell me a story. Now last point, that is point number 6. We also use a comma to set off a name from the rest of the sentence, full stop. For example, Niti, comma, do you have an eraser? Do you have an eraser? So my dear students, these are the 6 points. I am reading it again so that if you have missed anything, you can write it. Number 1, all these sentences begin with a capital letter. Point number 2, statements and commands end with a full stop. Questions end with a question mark. Sentences that show wonder end with an exclamation mark. Then, point number 3, proper nouns begin with a capital letter. I is always capitalized. Then, point number 4, we use a comma between items in a series or a list. For example, I saw an otter, a frog, a nightingale, and an owl having tea on my terrace. Next, point number 5. We use a comma after words like yes or no or please. For example, please tell me a story. Next, we also use a comma to set off a name from the rest of the sentence. For example, Niti, do you have an eraser? So my dear students, I hope you all have written all these important points, because these points are important to understand the chapter of punctuation. We will meet in the next session with the leftover topics of this lesson. Regarding today's lesson, if you are having any doubts, feel free to ask me. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.